close your eyes. The world outside is fading, and the world within is awakening. You did not stumble here by chance. No, this moment has called you, chosen you, summoned you. Because there is a frequency, a golden current, waiting for you to step into it tonight. You have been carrying old beliefs like heavy stones in your pocket. Beliefs that whispered, money is scarce, wealth is for others, abundance is a stranger to you. But listen closely, those voices were never yours. They were planted, passed down, borrowed from fear. And now, as you prepare to rest, you are laying them down. Stone by stone, lie by lie, weight by weight, you release them. For wealth is not outside of you. Wealth is not chasing you from afar. Wealth is within you, pulsing, breathing, vibrating like a hidden song. And tonight, as you drift into sleep, that song will rise. You will be tuned, aligned, attuned to the frequency of abundance itself. You see, sleep is not an escape. Sleep is a doorway. When your eyes close, your spirit opens. When your body surrenders, your soul remembers. And in these hours of rest, you are not powerless. You are powerful beyond measure. For the subconscious mind, your silent architect, builds without resistance as you dream. It takes the seed of truth and multiplies it. It takes the whisper of wealth and turns it into rivers of gold. So hear me now, you are not poor. You are not empty. You are not lacking. That illusion breaks tonight. You are wealth itself. You are the very channel through which prosperity flows. You are the living magnet of divine supply. You are the temple where abundance worships. Feel it. Breathe it. Let every inhale call it forth. Let every exhale release the chains of scarcity. The universe does not calculate by numbers in a bank. It measures by vibration, and wealth, true wealth, is a frequency. It hums, it glows, it sings like a radiant flame. When you match it, when you rest in it, when you become it, everything in the physical world must obey. Money comes, opportunities knock. Doors swing open that once seemed locked. And tonight, while you sleep, that frequency is finding you. You will dream in abundance. You will breathe in riches. You will awaken with a spirit calibrated to receive. Say with me now, softly, within your heart, I rest in wealth. I breathe in abundance. I am one with divine supply. Let those words drip into your subconscious like honey into water. They dissolve, they spread, they sweeten the whole ocean of your being. Can you feel it? That gentle warmth in your chest, that tingling in your fingertips, it is not imagination, it is alignment. Your body is responding to truth. Your soul is recognizing its inheritance. You are no longer a seeker. You are no longer a beggar. You are the heir, the owner, the vessel of riches untold. Every cell in your being knows this. Every dream tonight will remind you of this. So lay your head down without fear. For as you drift, the old programming will unravel. Scarcity will dissolve like smoke at sunrise. And in its place, a golden pattern will take root. Prosperity woven into your thoughts. Abundance humming in your heartbeat. Wealth blossoming in your very breath. Tonight, you are not just sleeping. You are becoming. You are being re-coded into wealth itself. This meditation is the key. This frequency is the bridge. And you, yes you, are ready. So surrender now. Let go. Trust the current. Allow the great river of abundance to carry you while you rest. Because the night belongs to you. The dreams belong to you. And the wealth that is coming has already been written in your name. Now, breathe deeply. Slowly. Feel yourself floating. The journey has only begun. When you close your eyes at night, the world outside falls silent, yet the world within begins its greatest work. Sleep is not a pause, it is not the absence of motion. It is the sacred workshop of creation. The conscious mind, with its doubts, its chatter, its endless rehearsing of fear, finally grows quiet. And in that stillness, the subconscious rises like a great architect, ready to take the raw material you have handed it during the day and shape it into the blueprint of your tomorrow. What you dwell on before you sleep becomes the seed planted in the soil of eternity, and that soil never rejects, it only grows. If you feed it scarcity, it grows limitation. If you feed it wealth, it grows rivers of abundance. The world has taught you to think of sleep as a place of forgetting, but in truth, it is the place of remembering. your spirit remembers who you are when the body rests. The illusions of not enough, the struggle, the noise of the outer world, these dissolve when you surrender to the night. And there, beneath the surface, the truth awakens. You were never created for lack, never designed for struggle, never destined for smallness. In the hours of sleep, when resistance is gone, your being aligns once again with its divine pattern: wealth, harmony, and endless supply. Think of the subconscious as a fertile field. During the day, the conscious mind may walk back and forth, sowing weeds of doubt, sowing seeds of fear, whispering, maybe I cannot, maybe I am not enough, maybe abundance is not mine. But the field does not argue. It accepts what it is given. It waits until nightfall, when the conscious mind drifts into silence, and then it begins to grow what was planted. Yet here is your powers. You can choose to plant something new. You can choose to hand your subconscious the seed of wealth, the vibration of abundance, the truth that prosperity is already yours. This is why sleep is the golden doorway to manifestation. It is the only time of the day when your conscious resistance surrenders, when your doubts grow quiet, and the raw truth of creation is allowed to flow unhindered. You may spend hours awake, trying to think yourself into wealth, trying to force success with the effort of your conscious mind, yet in sleep, it is effortless. You do not have to struggle. You do not have to strive, you simply have to allow. As your body rests, your spirit aligns. As your eyes close, your vibration shifts. And in those sacred 3 hours of rest, your entire frequency can be re-coded into wealth itself. When you drift into sleep carrying the thought of abundance, you are giving your subconscious an instruction it cannot refuse. It is like writing the script of your tomorrow in letters of light. The subconscious does not argue, it does not resist, it obeys. If you tell it wealth belongs to you, if you tell it prosperity flows easily, if you whisper, I am one with divine supply, then all night long, it will build that reality for you. Like a painter who works unseen in the dark, it colors your dreams with prosperity, it carves new patterns into your being, it anchors wealth into the foundation of who you are becoming. Even as you lie motionless, your mind is not idle. Your subconscious is weaving. It is rearranging the threads of energy around you, aligning opportunities, calling forth ideas, tuning your spirit to the frequency of riches. You may not see it with the eyes of flesh, but with the eyes of faith, you will know while you sleep, the universe works. While you rest, wealth is drawn closer. While you dream, prosperity takes root. Consider this: every great change begins in the unseen. A tree begins as a hidden seed. A river begins as an invisible spring. Wealth, too, begins in the invisible, the subconscious realm, the dream state, the vibration you hold in silence. And sleep is where that invisible realm is most accessible, most open, most fertile. That is why the hours of rest are not wasted. They are the richest hours of your life, if you know how to enter them with intention. So imagine, as you lay down, that you are stepping into a temple where only truth can enter, where only abundance is spoken, where only wealth is honored. In this temple, your soul kneels before the altar of infinite supply, and every word you whisper before drifting off becomes a prayer that is immediately answered. You may say, I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am aligned with prosperity, and those words are not lost in the air. They sink into the holy silence of your subconscious, and in that silence, they are multiplied. This is why you must guard your final thoughts of the day. Never let fear write the last line of your night. Never let worry sing you to sleep, for the last impression upon your mind is the first instruction to your subconscious. If you close your eyes with gratitude, you will wake to more to be grateful for. If you close your eyes with abundance, you will rise richer in spirit and in life. If you close your eyes with the conviction that wealth is yours, then even as you sleep, that conviction is writing itself into your reality. Sleep is not the pause between days. It is the bridge between worlds. It is the meeting point of spirit and matter, the place where the unseen becomes seen. And as you rest, you are not losing time, you are multiplying power. You are entering the laboratory of the infinite, where every dream is a command, and every belief is a creation. And if you would only carry the wealth frequency into that sacred space, you would awaken to find it mirrored back to you in the physical world, in money, in opportunities, in doors that open, as if by miracle. Wealth is not something you chase like a shadow slipping just beyond your reach. It is not something that hides in faraway places waiting for you to earn the right to find it. Wealth is a frequency, a living current of energy, and the moment you align with it, it rushes toward you as naturally as rivers flow to the sea. The great error of the world has been to teach you that abundance lives outside of you, that it is a prize to be hunted, fought for, clawed at with effort and fear. But in truth, wealth was never meant to be pursued, it was meant to be received. The act of receiving does not come from struggle, but from alignment, from tuning yourself to the rhythm of the universe where prosperity already exists in overflowing measure. Consider the radio waves moving through the air right now. You cannot see them, you cannot touch them, but they are everywhere, carrying endless music and voices. All you need to do is tune the dial of your receiver, and suddenly, what was once invisible becomes audible. Wealth is the same. It is already present, vibrating in the unseen realm. But if your mind is tuned to scarcity, if your inner belief is set to lack, you cannot hear it, cannot feel it, cannot receive it. The signal is there, but the receiver is off. The instant you adjust your vibration, through thought, through feeling, through belief, the station of abundance becomes clear. Wealth begins to flow into your experience, not because it was absent before, but because now you are aligned with it. The world has trained you to run, to grasp, to labor endlessly in hopes of gaining the treasures you desire. But the Spirit whispers a different truth: you need not run after wealth, for wealth is already running after you. Imagine yourself as a magnet, not chasing iron but drawing it in by nature of your very being. The magnet does not beg, it does not plead, it does not strain. It simply exists in alignment with its nature, and by that alignment, attraction becomes inevitable. You are that magnet, wealth is the iron. The only question is, are you allowing yourself to be what you truly are, or are you resisting your own magnetic pull with thoughts of unworthiness, fear, and doubt? Alignment is not effort, it is surrender. It is the gentle release of falsehoods and the quiet acceptance of truth. When you accept that abundance is your birthright, when you release the idea that money is scarce, when you allow yourself to believe that prosperity is not something earned, but something received, you step into harmony with the wealth frequency. And in that harmony, life begins to reflect abundance back to you. Opportunities appear where there seemed to be none. People arrive with the exact answers or connections you needed. Money flows through unexpected channels. The world rearranges itself to match your vibration, because it must. There is no begging in the language of wealth, no desperate pursuit, no anxious chase. Those actions belong to the realm of scarcity, to the belief that what you desire is distant or withheld. Wealth belongs to the stillness of faith, to the certainty of alignment, to the calm knowing that what is yours cannot be withheld. Just as the sun does not decide who deserves its light, wealth does not decide who is worthy. It simply shines, it simply flows, and those who open themselves to receive will find themselves bathed in it. Think of the ocean. It does not chase the shore, it simply expands, wave upon wave, in endless abundance. You do not run after the tide, you simply walk into it, and the water rushes to meet you. This is the nature of wealth. It is already rushing to meet you, already flowing toward you, already expanding in waves of possibility. But to step into it, you must believe you are allowed. You must release the illusion that you must earn the right to stand in its waters. You are already worthy, you are already chosen. You are already in possession of the frequency that calls it forth. Every thought you think, every emotion you hold, every belief you cradle in your heart, these are the dials on the receiver of your life. When you think thoughts of lack, you are tuning to a station of scarcity, and you hear only static. When you think thoughts of wealth, when you feel gratitude for what is already present, when you believe in abundance as naturally as you believe in the rising of the sun, then you turn the dial to the frequency of prosperity, and the music of wealth plays clearly in your life. You do not need to chase the song, you need only tune yourself to hear it. You do not need to strain for riches, you need only align with the truth that riches are already here. Wealth is not a chase, it is an embrace. It is not a pursuit, it is a reception. And the moment you align your vibration to receive, the floodgates open, and all that seemed impossible begins to arrive with ease and grace. Old beliefs of scarcity are like chains forged in the dark, passed from generation to generation, whispered by voices of fear and limitation. They cling to the subconscious mind, convincing you that struggle is natural, that wealth is reserved for others, that abundance is a prize to be earned with sweat and sacrifice. These beliefs become invisible walls, shaping how you see yourself and how you move in the world. Yet in the sacred silence of sleep, those walls can finally crumble. Sleep is the great dissolver, the soft tide that washes away what no longer belongs, the gentle night wind that clears the dust of illusion from your soul. When the conscious mind drifts into rest, its grip on those old beliefs loosens, and the subconscious stands open, ready to be renewed. Scarcity has always been a lie, but when you are awake, the noise of the world often drowns out that truth. Advertisements scream lack. Society teaches competition. Family patterns echo fears of not enough. Your conscious mind, busy with the demands of the day, absorbs these messages and recycles them, feeding them to the subconscious as if they were unshakable facts. Yet as night falls and the body surrenders to sleep, those falsehoods lose their hold. The chatter of the outer world falls silent, and in that silence, the deeper truth begins to speak. Abundance has always been your natural state. Prosperity has always been your birthright. You were not born with fear of lack. You were taught it. And what is taught can be unlearned. What is borrowed can be returned. What is false can be dissolved. Picture a garden overrun with weeds. The weeds are the old beliefs, tangled and choking the soil, stealing the light from the seeds of truth buried beneath. During the day, you may fight against them, pulling one here, cutting another there, only to see them sprout again. But in the night, when you enter sleep meditation, the entire soil is renewed. The roots of those weeds of scarcity are loosened and lifted out, leaving space for the seeds of abundance to breathe and grow. Scarcity dissolves not by struggle but by surrender, not by force but by alignment. As you drift into the deep rhythm of rest, the subconscious mind is tilled and opened, ready for the planting of new beliefs. This is the miracle of sleep meditation. While the body rests, the spirit awakens to its power. Affirmations whispered into the subconscious during sleep bypass the gatekeeper of doubt. When you are awake, you may hear a phrase like, "I am abundant," and argue with it. Measure it against your current circumstances. Question whether it could be true. But in sleep, the conscious resistance is gone. The words slip past the critic and enter directly into the fertile soil of the subconscious, where they take root as truth. Slowly, night after night, the old programming of scarcity loses its power, dissolving like fog before the rising sun, and in its place, a new frequency begins to hum. The frequency of wealth, of abundance, of limitless supply. Scarcity has always been an illusion, a shadow cast by fear. Wealth is not created in the mind of struggle, but in the vibration of ease. When you allow sleep to carry you, you are allowing the old shadows to dissolve. You are stepping into the timeless truth that you are not separate from abundance, but one with it. The subconscious mind does not care what is real in the physical sense. It only knows what is impressed upon it. If you impress it with fear, it creates more fear. If you impress it with wealth, it creates more wealth. This is why the hours of sleep are so holy. They are the hours where impressions are most powerful, where transformation is most natural, where change is most permanent. As you rest, you may not see the shift, but you will feel it in the morning. You may wake lighter, calmer, with a quiet sense that something has been released. And that sense is real, For the old beliefs are indeed dissolving. The chains are breaking link by link, the illusions falling piece by piece. You are not the scarcity that was handed down to you. You are not the fear that echoed through your past. You are not the doubt that once ruled your mind. Those patterns no longer hold power over the subconscious when you surrender them to the current of sleep. In the silence of the night, when affirmations of abundance whisper like lullabies, the truth is rewritten within you. The subconscious begins to record a new story, one where wealth is natural, one where prosperity flows with ease, one where you are not separate from supply, but forever connected to it. Old scarcity dissolves because it cannot withstand the vibration of truth. Lies cannot live in the presence of light. Limitation cannot survive in the field of abundance. And as the night deepens, as your breath slows, as your body surrenders, the old dissolves into nothingness, and the new begins to bloom within you. Abundance is not something you must reach for. It is not something waiting on the horizon for a more deserving version of you. Abundance is your natural inheritance, written into the very fabric of your being before you ever took your first breath. You were not sent into this world empty-handed. You came carrying the imprint of divine supply within you. Yet from the moment you entered the noise of human teaching, you were told stories that hid this truth. You were told life is hard, money is scarce, only the few are chosen. You were told that you must fight for what you need, that you must earn favor, that you must prove your worth. And in believing those stories, you forgot what was already yours. But forgetting does not mean losing. And the inheritance of abundance cannot be stolen. It can only be hidden beneath layers of illusion. Within your soul, there has always been a current of infinite supply. It is like a spring of water deep underground, invisible to the eye but unstoppable in its flow. You may walk across the surface of the earth and see only dryness, but beneath, the water waits, ready to rise. So it is with your abundance. Even if life has seemed barren, even if struggle has seemed constant, the spring has never left you. It has only awaited your awakening, the moment when you remember to dig, to open, to call it forth. When you turn inward, when you align your belief with truth, that spring bursts upward, flooding your life with opportunities, wealth, and ease. An inheritance is not something earned. It is something given by nature of who you are. A child does not work to deserve what their parent has set aside. They simply claim it when the time comes. You are the child of the infinite, and the universe has already placed abundance in your name. Yet, unlike the legal systems of the world, the universe waits for your agreement, your claiming, your belief. It does not force itself upon you, it honors your choice. If you choose to believe in scarcity, it allows you to live within that illusion. If you choose to awaken to abundance, it rushes to meet you, for it has always been yours. There is a reason the heart longs for more, why the soul feels restless in the cage of limitation. That longing is not greed, it is memory. It is the memory of who you are and what belongs to you. The discomfort you feel in lack is your inheritance calling, whispering that you were not made for this smallness. Every desire you carry, every dream that burns within you, is evidence of what is already written in your spirit. You do not dream of wealth because it is far from you. You dream of wealth because it is within you, waiting to be expressed. You do not long for freedom because it is impossible. You long for freedom because it is your natural state. The illusion of lack is like a veil drawn over your eyes, but meditation, especially in the sacred stillness of sleep, lifts that veil. When the conscious mind grows quiet, when the noise of the day dissolves, the truth of your inheritance begins to rise again. It speaks softly at first, in whispers and impressions, in feelings of peace and ease. Then, as you continue to feed your subconscious with affirmations of abundance, it grows louder, clearer, undeniable. You begin to see signs in your waking life, small openings, unexpected gifts, opportunities that appear as if by miracle. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that your inheritance is beginning to surface. There is no separation between you and the abundance of the universe. The same force that spins the planets, that makes the seasons turn, that paints the sunrise each morning, is the force that provides for you. It is endless, inexhaustible, overflowing. To believe you are separate from abundance is to believe the wave is separate from the ocean, or the ray of light is separate from the sun. You are not apart. You are a part. You are not outside looking in. You are the very expression of the abundance you seek. The wealth you desire, the prosperity you long for, is not foreign to you. It is your reflection. When you believe you are poor, you look into the mirror and see lack, and the world reflects it back. But when you believe you are wealthy, by nature of your divine inheritance, when you accept that prosperity is written into your very being, then the mirror changes. The world cannot help but reflect back the wealth you know within yourself. What is inside becomes what is outside. What you carry in your soul becomes what you hold in your hand. This is why scarcity has always felt unnatural, why it has always carried pain and restlessness. Because it is not who you are. The dissonance you feel in lack is simply your soul rejecting the lie. The harmony you feel when you imagine abundance, when you affirm prosperity, when you breathe into the thought of infinite supply, that harmony is truth resonating within you. It is your inheritance singing to you, reminding you of what has always belonged to you. When you surrender to this truth, when you rest in it, when you feed it to your subconscious in the quiet hours of sleep, you awaken more and more to the life that mirrors your divine birthright. Repetition is the golden key that unlocks the vault of the subconscious. Just as drops of water, falling again and again upon stone, can carve a river through mountains, so do repeated affirmations carve pathways in the hidden chambers of your mind. The subconscious does not change with one word, one fleeting thought, or one declaration spoken half-heartedly. It transforms through rhythm, through constancy, through the steady drumbeat of belief impressed over and over until it becomes the only truth it knows. This is why affirmations during sleep are so powerful. In the silence of rest, when the conscious gatekeeper has stepped aside, every word enters deeply. And when those words are repeated in rhythm, the subconscious begins to take them not as suggestion, but as fact. Consider how you learned your first language. It was not through a single lesson, but through constant exposure, through the steady repetition of sounds and meanings until they became second nature. You did not question whether the word was true. You absorbed it because it was given to you again and again. In the same way, affirmations of abundance spoken into your subconscious during sleep bypass the need for questioning. The subconscious is not concerned with what is real or unreal, possible or impossible. It accepts repetition as reality. If scarcity has been repeated to you throughout your life, then scarcity became your subconscious truth. But if wealth is repeated, if abundance is affirmed night after night, then wealth begins to replace the old programming, and abundance becomes your new inner language. Every affirmation you hear in sleep is like a seed planted in fertile soil. One seed may sprout, but a garden only blooms when many seeds are sown and watered consistently. Repetition is the watering. It is the sunlight that nourishes the seed until it grows strong enough to break through the surface of old beliefs. When you listen to the same affirmations for wealth and abundance as you sleep, they work while you dream. They echo again and again in the chambers of your mind, taking root so deeply that they begin to shape not only your inner landscape, but also the outer circumstances of your life. The subconscious is the silent builder of your reality. It creates not from effort, but from pattern. If the pattern it holds is one of lack, then no matter how hard you strive in waking life, the results will mirror scarcity. But when repetition impresses a new pattern, one of wealth, ease, and prosperity, the subconscious shifts, and life begins to organize itself around that new design. What once felt impossible begins to arrive naturally, not because the world outside has changed, but because your inner programming has changed, and the outer world is only the mirror. Repetition during sleep is even more potent because it does not meet resistance. When you are awake, the conscious mind may interrupt, doubt, or argue with the words of abundance. You may say, I am wealthy. But the conscious voice replies, no, you're not. Look at your bank account. Yet when you are asleep, that doubting voice is silent. The affirmations are received without interruption, and the subconscious accepts them freely. Night after night, the steady rhythm of wealth, affirming words, carves new grooves into the mind. Grooves so deep that eventually they become the dominant truth, and the old voices of lack fade into silence. This is why ancient teachings always emphasized repetition. The scriptures were chanted, mantras repeated, prayers spoken again and again, until they became the breath itself. For repetition is the language of the subconscious, and the subconscious is the bridge to the divine. When you fall asleep to affirmations of wealth, you are doing more than listening to words. You are tuning your soul to the rhythm of truth. You are aligning your inner being with the eternal frequency of abundance, letting it soak so deeply into your spirit that it cannot be uprooted. Imagine a great drum beating steadily in the distance. With each strike, your heart begins to align with its rhythm. At first, you notice the sound. Then you begin to feel it. And finally, you are one with it, moving in perfect harmony. This is what repetition of affirmations does to your subconscious. At first, they are only words. Then, they begin to feel real. And eventually, they are no longer affirmations but reality itself. You no longer say, I am wealthy, as a hope. You say it as truth, because your subconscious has made it your identity. Through repetition, wealth is no longer something you seek, it becomes who you are. The subconscious does not separate thought from being. What it hears repeatedly, it believes. What it believes, it creates. And what it creates, you live. Each night as you sleep, each affirmation spoken into the silence of your subconscious builds upon the last, stacking truth upon truth until the old structure of scarcity collapses under the weight of new wealth consciousness. This is the power of repetition. It transforms not with a single strike of lightning, but with the steady, unshakable rhythm of the drum, the tide, the heartbeat of abundance that never ceases, never falters, never fails. To become the vibration of wealth is to step into a realm where money, abundance, and prosperity no longer feel like visitors, but like parts of your very nature. Wealth is not something outside of you waiting to be invited in. It is a frequency. And when you embody that frequency, the outer world has no choice but to mirror it. Everything in existence is vibration. Every thought you think, every feeling you hold, every belief you nurture. These are waves of energy radiating outward, calling back their own reflection. When you vibrate scarcity, you attract scarcity. When you vibrate abundance, you attract abundance. This is not philosophy but law, as certain and unyielding as gravity. To awaken each day and align with the vibration of wealth is to walk as though prosperity already surrounds you. You begin to carry yourself differently, breathe differently, speak differently. The words you choose no longer drip with worry, but overflow with certainty. Your energy declares, even before your lips can form the sentence, I am abundant, I am wealthy, I am one with divine supply. The universe responds not to the surface of what you say, but to the depth of what you radiate. You can mouth the words, I am rich, 1,000 times, but if beneath those words beats the vibration of doubt, the frequency remains unchanged. It is not about empty words, it is about becoming the resonance itself. Imagine striking a tuning fork. It hums at a specific pitch, and anything around it that can vibrate at the same pitch begins to resonate. A glass, a string, even another tuning fork will begin to sing with it. You are that tuning fork. When you vibrate with wealth, when your inner being hums at the frequency of abundance, then opportunities, people, ideas, and money begin to resonate with you. They are drawn not by your effort, not by your force, but by resonance. Like meets like, vibration attracts vibration. This is why the work of manifestation is not about chasing, struggling, or convincing. It is about shifting into the state of being that matches what you desire. When you carry the vibration of wealth, you are not pleading with the universe to bless you. You are simply allowing the universe to reflect back what you already are. The question is never, how do I get money? The real question is, how do I become the vibration that wealth recognizes as itself? The answer lies in feeling as though it is already done, already yours, already flowing through you. Sleep meditation is one of the most powerful ways to shift into this vibration because, as the body rests, the mind surrenders. The conscious chatter of doubt quiets, and in that stillness, the subconscious can be reprogrammed. Every affirmation of wealth, every declaration of abundance spoken into the silence of your sleep, is not just a thought. It is a vibration sinking into your being. Night after night, your subconscious begins to harmonize with those words. Slowly, your vibration shifts. You wake up lighter, calmer, more open to possibility. You notice yourself walking with greater ease, speaking with more certainty, trusting with more boldness. This is the sign that the frequency of wealth is becoming your natural state. Becoming the vibration of wealth means embodying gratitude before the evidence arrives. It means feeling rich in the morning, even if your circumstances have not yet changed. Gratitude is the doorway, for it immediately tunes you to abundance. When you give thanks for what already exists, you are telling the universe, I am already vibrating with wealth, and I welcome more. Gratitude lifts you out of the frequency of lack, where the focus is on what is missing, and places you firmly in the frequency of abundance, where the focus is on what is overflowing. To embody wealth is to release the habits of scarcity that keep you tied to its vibration. Scarcity clings to fear, to worry, to doubt. It makes you measure every step, every decision, from the place of, what if there's not enough? But the vibration of wealth thinks differently. It breathes expansion, not contraction. It knows there is always more, always enough, always an endless flow. When you shift into this state, your choices change. You invest in yourself, you trust opportunities, you act with faith rather than fear. These actions are not forced, they arise naturally because they match the frequency you have become. Wealth as a vibration also means harmony with the unseen. It is to trust that the invisible is working even when the visible has not yet caught up. The vibration of wealth does not beg or chase because it knows alignment is inevitable. Just as a magnet does not struggle to pull iron to itself, you do not struggle when you are the vibration of wealth. The attracting happens naturally, silently, powerfully. Money finds you. Prosperity recognizes you. Opportunities align themselves with you because your very presence declares the truth of who you are. When you become the vibration of wealth, scarcity loses its power over you. Even if old thoughts try to rise, they no longer resonate. It is like trying to play a note on an instrument that has been retuned. The old sound no longer fits. Your entire being now hums with abundance, and anything that does not match that frequency begins to fade from your life. People, habits, situations, and patterns that once tied you to lack dissolve, making room for new experiences that harmonize with your wealth vibration. Becoming wealth is not about pretending or forcing. It is about remembering. It is remembering that you were always aligned with abundance, that scarcity was only a shadow, a distortion, a false note. The deeper you rest into this remembrance, the more natural it feels. Abundance becomes not a dream but your identity, not a pursuit but your presence. The vibration of wealth is not something you reach for in the distance. It is the song you were always meant to sing, the rhythm your heart has always known, the frequency your soul was always tuned to.